Okay, so we're done. We pulled the motor out, and I just want to show you guys this. And that's pretty much how it looks like right now. Kind of heartbreaking, but it is what it is. If you guys haven't pulled one of these out, it's probably a good tip to you see the ground wire right there? That's for the motor mount. It's gonna be on the passenger side. It's gonna be on the bottom stud, and I think that's a 15. You gotta have a deep 15 because it's a stud and a lock nut, so it's probably good to have an impact with a swivel. You can fish from there, so out there you can just take off the wheel and have a swivel on and impact that thing out. It'll be a lot easier that way. And taking off the starter is actually a pain in the ass because I have headers, so you know how that goes. And if you have headers and you're trying to take it off and the trans still there, you might need to wiggle around the trans because the headers, the collector area will hit that ear right there, that ear for the bell housing that's for the starter. It's kind of like, you know, a little pain in the ass to trying to move that around with a jack underneath and trying to, you know, move around the cherry picker, trying to move the engine around that too. So those two connectors are for the alternator, and never forget about that tiny one right there. That's for the AC clutch. And it's pretty much straightforward. Just pull it out, pull it forward, try to pry it off because it's probably going to be a little stuck if yours haven't been pulled out in a while, but mine was pretty easy because it was just out like literally a month ago. But pulling it out is pretty easy. But you want to take that off the steering shaft. It's pretty easy. What I want to do is take off the key, take off the steering rack, and lock it to the left. And you know, don't forget about it because sometimes you might forget about the clock spring, and you might turn the steering wheel when the steering shaft is not there. You might break the clock spring for the steering, and that's not good. It's probably another 200 to 300 bucks plus labor. I mean, obviously if you're doing this, you can obviously do the labor yourself, but it's probably better not to do that. And let's go here to the engine. I already tore this apart. That's the new block. It's gonna be the old block, and this is what we found. So these are 2618 pistons, forged aluminum. When I first built this motor, I have a plan of like boosting it and really just trying to be a race car. But the more the build progressed, I kind of felt like it was a mistake. I should have bought a 4032 because it's more streetable, more reliable as like a street car, because 2618 requires more piston wall clearance. That means they rattle on the bore a lot more, and that's only on cold starts. Well, eventually you'll start that thing enough, a lot of times, a lot of cold starts, and it will rattle to the bores, and then it will wear itself like this, and that's not good. So this time around with the new block, the new GT500 block, I bought 4032 pistons, and I'm gonna see how that goes. And shout out to DSS for having a really quick turnaround time, because these pistons and those pistons took at least 2 months per each from JEL. With the COVID all going on, that's kind of expected, but that's a long time of waiting. But on DSS pistons, they only took like 2 weeks. So I'm really surprised with that, and a week of shipping. So total, actually just a week of waiting for the parts to be made. So that's pretty good. And those are the cams. I have Boss 302 cams, and that's the oil pump assembly. Got that MMR sprocket. Yeah, I don't care. But yeah, I got some new hardwares coming in. Waiting for the new pistons. Waiting for the new rod bearings. This is my rod, right here, and it's pretty good. Yeah, I actually like the wear pattern on them. Almost nothing, but since the piston starts eroding away, you know, it started the material started going through the oil, started wearing the bearings as well. It just sucks because, you know, when you start the engine, your oil filter actually bypasses, because the oil is too thick and the pressure is too high, and just can't flow too much through the filter. So what it does is bypasses, so it doesn't starve in oil, which is good because it doesn't starve in oil. Well, the bad thing is it doesn't filter it. So this time around, I feel like I should run 2 oil filters through the oil cooler, and I actually am gonna run them in series, or actually a parallel. Yeah, I'm gonna run them parallel setup, so it doesn't, you know, cause too much stress on one filter. So 2 filters are filtering with half the effort, and less likely to bypass. So I think I would like that to be the solution, and hoping it is, because on break-ins you can't really, you know, avoid having some oil contaminants or metal contaminants, because, you know, when you bring it to the machine shop and they deck the block, they deck it, they hone it, and when they, you know, they wash that, but it's never going to be 100% clean off you know, metal flakes or small, you know, metal parts, and you want all that to be caught in the filter. So I think I'll try to do that, the parallel setup of the oil filter, and that's the heads. That's pretty good. Good thing I really pulled this like super early, right when I heard that the piston slap wasn't normal anymore. I decided to just down the car and, you know, take the motor out and do a health check on it, and good thing I did, because this could have been a lot more worse and start eating through the cylinder bores, and that could have been a lot worse. That could have damaged the heads, could have damaged the cams, damaged the phasers, the tensioners, and could have been a lot more worse. And I didn't want that, because I want to reuse those rods in the crank. And I have extra cranks, I have extra rods, but I want those to be safe for another build. And that's another head they're ported. And there's a GT 350 intake manifold, and there's my other heads. And then I think pretty much this is the old set. This is a JE Ultra Series one. This is coated all over, but coyotes do hang off the bore a lot. That's why you see this. This is pretty normal in coyotes. What's not normal is if it has wear on the top, that means it's too much piston slap, and that's not good. But yeah, that's pretty much the update right now. I'll probably make another video unboxing all the parts when it comes in, so hope you guys stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Bye, peace out.